This conference will now be recorded.
So good afternoon, everyone. I'm Anusha, and I work for an MNC called Accelerize 360 as senior graphic designer. I've got around 6.5 years of experience in graphic designing as well as WordPress development. So I'll be your instructor for Photoshop going forward. So, yep. So this is what you can expect out of this session. So you will know how to Photoshop your own projects, like create your own images and design your own banners for your websites, etc. So you will be beyond the intermediate Photoshop level, even if you're a beginner and even if you don't have any prior knowledge in Photoshop. So you will also know how to work with color corrections, grades, filters, effects, etc. So you can also retouch the concepts. You will also work with layers, masks, smart objects, etc. So I know these terminologies are not familiar for you, but going forward as we proceed with the sessions, I'm sure you will be like pro with these concepts. So why do we need images or design? So where exactly we use them? So there is no website without designs. So that there are no banners or hoardings outside without the design. There are no mobile applications without the designs. So even though there's a software involved or there are some coding concepts involved, so a front end is basically the design. So there are no applications or there are no websites without the design. There are no products without the design. So even if we check the quality of the product, the ultimate thing that will attract us would be the design or the packaging that is there on the product. So simply put, there is no marketing without the design. So design is like very, very important and it's an essential thing. And it's one of the booming concepts. Okay, so now what's Photoshop? So Photoshop is basically an image editing tool and it's a product of Adobe Suite. So it will help us correct the images, adjust the color schemes, retouch the pictures, and manipulate the images in the sense like making people look younger or older or create some water in the desert, whatnot. You can do anything and everything with Photoshop. And you can also create some posters, banners for social media, hoardings, websites, and etc. Now, the history of Photoshop. So it's basically developed in 1987 by Thomas and John Knoll, and then they have sold the license to Adobe Systems in 1988. Photoshop 1.0 was released in 1990 for Macintosh exclusively, which is the product of Apple. So the operating systems that support Photoshop are Windows and Mac. And the main file extension for Photoshop is like .psd. So whenever you work on a file and whenever you want to save it, the file extension that comes with Photoshop is .psd. And the latest release of Photoshop version is Creative Cloud 2018, which was released in the year of 2017. So what are the requirements? Now, the main question. So you will have to install like Photoshop in your laptop or desktop, and any version is like good, but it is like more productive if you can put CS4 or CS5, CS6 or any version of Creative Cloud. And you can download a free trial version of Photoshop from adobe.com website. So you have a privilege to use it for 30 days. So, or if you want to buy a Photoshop license, you can buy it after that, which costs you around 16,000 rupees for a year. Or if any of your friends have the Photoshop license key, you can take it from them. And you don't have to have any prior experience because here we are there to help you out, understand the basics of the Photoshop. Okay, and RAM, if you have a system or a laptop with 4 GB, that's like great. Even 2 GB works, but 4 GB will help you give more productive output. So here are the points that you will have to remember. Guys, Photoshop is all about practice and of course practice. So it's not like you have to be creative to create some images or create some designs. It is only the interest and the dedication that will take you to the next level. That's it. So, and yeah, this is the main point. So you should never pick images from anywhere of the web. So there are few websites which will help you download the free images and the images which are copyright free. So for an example, you have this unsplash.com. I'll show it out here. So here we go. So you can type anything that you want, and then you can download the pictures. Here we go. This is the one. You just have to click on this, and then you can download for free. That's it. Now, let us see how Photoshop basically looks like. This is the interface of the Photoshop. This is the first screen you will see when you open the Photoshop. Okay, here towards my left hand side, I have a lot of tools, and on top I have a lot of options. We will learn each and everything in detail. To start with, for the first couple of weeks, we will first brainstorm on the basics of the Photoshop. If your basics are perfect, you can create miracles. So now I'll help you with an example. I'll upload a file out here, and I'll also help you with the shortcuts then and there itself. So Control O will help you open a file. So I'm just taking a test file for your reference. I'll just say open, and here we go. The file is open. So we will first understand the three basic tools towards the left hand side. First one is move tool. So this will help you move your picture. Okay, so my background layer is like locked, and that's the reason I'm not able to move the picture. So I'll say Control J, which will help me create a new layer which is editable. Okay, now I'm just closing the background image, and I'm working on layer 1. So layer 1, I'll select the move tool, and I'll be able to move my picture anywhere around the screen. Now this is the select tool, or a mark you tool, which will help you select the area. For suppose I just want to select a particular area, or for an example, I just want to select this face. So I can just select this out and then say Control J. So a layer with only the selected area is created. I'll just hide the layer 1, and layer 2, you will just see the face that I have selected. So this is the mark you tool. So you have other options, which is rectangular, elliptical, single row, and single column. So whenever you would require, you can use these options. Next is the lasso tool. Lasso tool is the main tool that will help you cut the images. So when you use this lasso tool, you will always have to zoom your picture. Why do you use a lasso tool? This will help you cut the image and remove the unnecessary background. For an example, I'm just zooming this image. I'm just selecting this lasso tool. Whenever I'm cutting an image, I'll have to press on Alt tab. In your keyboard, you will find this Alt tab on the down section. So press that Alt key and then start this cutting of your image. Do not release the Alt tab till the editing is done. You can zoom in your picture more for more clarity. So I'm done with this. So I'm releasing the Alt key. So the picture that I have cut is selected. I'll say Control J. No, my layer is not created.